Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back again with this week's update. All the physical releases coming to the Switch March the 25th until the 29th. Before we get into it, if you want some physical announcements, check out the Premium Edition Games YouTube channel today at 8 PM Eastern Time. There's gonna be a nice feature-packed Premium Edition Direct with our latest brand new game announcements. There's some nice stuff in there that you can watch live with the link in the description. I will be lending my voice to it. None of the games have much to do with me, but I am excited to play them all, and I'm excited for you guys to find out what they are. There will be pre-orders going live the same day too, where you can grab the pre-order bonus items, a sweet dog tag for each game. I will see you over there at 8 PM Eastern. Well, maybe. I'll actually be at work when that goes live, but I would appreciate you guys watching it, okay? Let's have a look at this week's physical games. South Park Snow Day is releasing this week, much to everyone's confusion about what it actually is, or maybe I've just not paid enough attention. At first I thought it was like an online 4v4 battle game or something, but no, it's just a co-op action game. One would assume there's a story there filled with the humor we love. The worrying part is how cheap it is. It's like 22 bucks, so hopefully there's no day one microtransactions where you have to pay money to edit your characters. No moronic game company would do that. It could be okay, but I don't think it's the proper RPG everyone would have liked considering how amazing the previous two games were. I guess it was cheaper and easier to make in order to tie into something like a new season of South Park. When's that happening? And our executive producers, Robotech, Vey, Precision Plague, Thorn Metal Luna, Punky Dooster, and Issa have chosen this as their pick of the week. And if you want it or any of the retail releases in this episode, then please consider using the links in the description. You can purchase from Video Games Plus. It's a fantastic way to support me because they have good prices and cheap Canadian money. They have cheap shipping, especially to the US, and even free worldwide shipping if you purchase over 80 Canadian bucks, which is only like 60 American dollars. They have lots of good stuff over there, and of course are my preferred way to pick up retail releases. Plus, if you purchase something via our link, then each week you will be in with a chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. And this week's winner is Gary B. Congratulations, Gary. You should get an email from VGP in the coming days with your $10 discount. Thank you so much. Outward is supposed to be an immersive survival RPG with a huge open world, which always strikes fear into the heart of a Nintendo Switch owner, especially for games that are already a bit rough around the edges, but we can hold out hope, right? It looks like something I could do with playing, just depends how harsh the survival mechanics are. If it's one of those where after one night you're bleeding, starving, sunburned, and you're still in your soiled kecks, then, I might not be so happy to play it, but we'll see. Contraptions Collection is releasing in the US this week. This is a triple pack of, you guessed it, Contraption 1, 2, and 3. 3 games in one. What a deal! These are simple looking puzzle games with some of the finest MS Paint artwork seen this side of the millennium. I know Europeans are massively jealous about seemingly missing out on this MS masterpiece, and I'm still talking about Microsoft, not multiple sclerosis. That joke took a dark turn. Let's move on to something a bit more lighthearted. Touch Detective is not a dodgy 70s cop simulator, no, it's a collection of point-and-click adventure games from the DS era. These are supposed to be quite good, and the fact that it's a 3-in-1 package, having the complete series on the cartridge, that is super tempting. Sadly, it seems to be only a North American release because it's Nicholas, who are terrible at printing enough copies, especially for others around the world, so I would pick this up, eventually if I can find it for my budget. I mean, Nicholas, what are you doing? Even they are forcing VGP to only ship to Canada, not letting them send internationally. It's just absurd. But our executive producers, Feig, Instacritic, Brent McLean, and Cartoon Soren have chosen this as their pick of the week. Figment 1 and 2 is only releasing in Europe this week. Ha! This is us Europeans firing one back at Nicholas. Sadly, Tessura are much more chill about the situation, and VGP have bags of copies to send to anyone who wants them. This is a sweet looking double pack of very nice indie games. Individually probably not worth a physical, but together you got yourself a nice little package. These are beautiful puzzle adventure games, have a musical theme to them. You can pick it up in a standard edition as well as an expensive collector's edition which comes with an art book, pins, double soundtrack CD, poster, and a cleaning cloth because we all know how disgustingly sweaty your hands are. And our executive producers, Jennifer M., God of Resin, Dane Wilkinson, have chosen this as their pick of the week. Cricket 24, the official game of the Ashes, is another European exclusive, although I think VGP are sensible enough to, they know when to say no. I'm pretty sure most North Americans would close the borders if they knew a cricket game was in a shipping container. More cricket on the go on the Switch, one for the English, Australians, and Southeast Asians. It's like baseball, but with more tea drinking and less spitting, one would hope. Alright, the low print releases. Born to Bread is Pixel&Love's latest Switch release, available for pre-order in a day or two. Of course, this is going to be at retail, but with different cover art, and the collector's edition is exclusive to their website. It's also getting a retail release in North America, but not with Pixel&Love. It's actually from Red Art Games. You can pre-order that from VGP right now, or in the coming days. Anyways, this is another game, one of those RPGs that really wants to be Paper Mario. My ears always prick up when I hear that, despite most of them not really coming close to the majesty of Thousand Year Door, but according to reviews, this is a really good one despite the terrible name. I mean, who wants to play a game called Born to Bread? They need something more buzz-like, maybe Bread Souls. You get it? It's like bread rolls, but bread souls. Okay, maybe Born to Bread is better. And our executive producer Parsnip Coffee has chosen this as her pick of the week. Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 Complete Edition is one of Limited Run's games this week. This is obviously a bit different to Roller Coaster Tycoon Adventures on the Switch, and the question remains, what happened to Tycoon 2? Is it the child they secretly buried in the garden but tell everyone he's on a school trip in Europe? It's foolproof, but apparently this is pretty good. I think many of us have nostalgia for these types of games in the mid to late 90s. I love theme parks, so I could probably get on with this too. You can pre-order this from Limited Run Games on Friday. Grounded Fully Yoked Edition is Limited Run's other game this week. Oddly, this was announced on Saturday. Luckily, I was running very far behind making this video, so yeah, I caught it just before I started editing. It's essentially a video game adaptation of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, just without Rick Moranis, so it's obviously terrible. This is another Xbox Studios game on the Switch and by Limited Run, because last time I heard, that tiny indie studio called Microsoft was super struggling to keep the lights on. Thank God for Limited Run. You can play solo or online co-op with friends, and you can pre-order it like tomorrow or something. Alright, the imports, we're heading into Play Asia territory. If you want to import any of the games shown here, then please consider using our Play Asia links below. Play Asia, fantastic way to support us alongside VGP, and thank you ever so much. It really does mean a lot to me. Plus, in return, we can help you too. You can get a tasty 5% off with our code Jordan24. But please remember to click the link first, okay? That's how to help us, okay? The code does nothing for us, that's for you. Radirgy 2 is the most interesting game for me this week, even though it does not have English. This is a crazy shooter with a lot of personality. Now, the lack of English will probably impact the experience in this one compared to most other shooters due to the amount of crazy stuff that's going on screen during the gameplay. And this developer tends to, they don't keep things simple, so maybe a bit of effort may be required, but I'm sure it will be worth it. I'm still picking it up eventually. I love their other package on the Switch with Illmatic Envelope Swamp, great stuff. Amairo Chocolate is a visual novel with a dog girl and a cat girl. Apparently it's a bit of a naughty game on the PC, but of course the only time Nintendo will have someone being bent over is when they're charging $60 for a 3DS port. But yeah, this is a Japanese exclusive with English, supposedly nothing to get overly excited for, and it's not the longest either, but hey, definitely one for those who love the furry side of things. Muv-Luv, talking about getting bent over, this is a collection of Muv-Luv and its sequel Alternative, releasing in Japan with English. The first game is considered a bit beige, decent, nothing special, but then Alternative is where it somehow blasts into the stratosphere of being an all-time great visual novel. So you have to go through 50 hours of the first game to experience the amazing second half. So it's a no-brainer for VN fans. The problem is it's only available in a $250 collector's edition. There's no announced standard edition, which is a tough pill to swallow. and I have no doubt they will later announce a reprint of a standard edition. I mean, don't quote me on that, it's just something the game industry might do to screw the early adopters over. And maybe there could be a Western physical release. Seems like something P-Cube may do since they published the Vita versions individually, but hey, who knows? I want it, but not $250 want it, if you get what I mean. I'm pretty sure you get what I mean. Japan is also getting these games as well. There's no English on any of them, which is a crying shame for Winning Post. When are we going to get another English version of that, guys? Koei, come on. We want to ride horses and, spank them and stuff, right? Alright, the community spotlight. By the way, I do want to apologize if you can hear like a tweeting bird. I think I have like a nesting bird thing outside my window with some newly hatched chicks. So instead of booting them off the window part, I'll just let them squeak and ruin the video, okay? Anyways, the community spotlight. McLaren sent in this photo showing off the collector's edition of Goblin Slayer. Sadly, still no word of when the English patch is coming. It's just depressive all round. Executive producer Cartoon Soren sent in this photo showing off the near indistinguishable The World Ends With You games. Grade A marketing right there, Square. Dominic W sent in this photo with 2 Ace Attorney collections. I hope you've got the first trilogy as well, because that's damn essential. Executive producer Offone sent in this photo with Broforce, the collector's edition, the European version, which I think just goes to show why Special Reserve just were not needed as a company anymore. They just sent everything to retail. Good. Visipon sent in this photo with a lot of visual novels, and there's a lot more coming this year. I mentioned at least 3 over on Physical Paradise on Saturday. It's the golden era for VNs, at least on consoles. Elissa sent in this photo with the gorgeous collector's edition of Lunar Nights. Look at that art. That should have been the main art for the box, not the big hand lady. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo with more visual novels. What's going on, guys? This is supposed to be niche. The gatekeepers are going to be coming soon. Executive producer God of Resin sent in this photo with a few premium editions of some Prime games. I'm really jealous of the collector's edition of Unicorn Overlord. It looks so good. Are you all enjoying the game? Of course, I haven't had the chance to play it or even buy it yet, but let me know, are you enjoying it? Morality sent in this photo with more unicorns and Gal Guardians. Can't go wrong with either of those, especially if you can get Gal Guardians for a cheaper price. Maybe like the $40 a bit too expensive, but if it gets to in the 20s, that's good. Executive producer Instacritic picked up this bunch of games. It's an importer's paradise here. Just a heads up, at the time of making this, the bottom left game is an Otomi called Bakumatsu Renka Shinsengumi, and PlayAsia have it for like $14, which is a great price because it does have English. Executive producer Vey sent in this photo showing off a chunky Irem collection, getting it way earlier than Strictly Limited games. Needless Dragon sent in this photo showing off Monkey Island, the return to Monkey Island. I'm definitely feeling the urge to play point-and-click adventure games right now because I want to do a Broken Sword retrospective on a bit more Jordan this year, maybe. Would anyone watch that? Probably not. Theo sent in this picture of Sonic Colors, which is a great game and is almost always incredibly, often, painfully cheap. Just check out VGP like once a week and you'll get it for almost nothing. Vast Neon sent in this photo of Tokyo School Life again. This is a VGP exclusive and they had it for a ridiculously low price a few weeks back. And I know I make a point to awkwardly and completely blank any non-Switch games, but Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Oh my god, guys, just oh my god. Executive producer Thorn Metal Luna sent in this photo showing off these games with Mineko's Night Market. I talked about how I was on the fence with this because I saw it for quite a cheap price. But someone rightly pointed out that there is a patch for the game to actually make it, an acceptable product. When it launched, it was in quite a bad state, so I think a patch is required. Alright, let's have a roundup. Louis K. JB in My Knots. Manji. Philip M. Pabs. Andrew R. Cresselak. Nucky McFlynn. Radio to Rancid. Mr. Matt Hobb. Ashura G. Skip to the end. That's his name. Starvey. Danielle B. Alright, please send me your pictures, maybe on Twitter if you can message me. I don't know if you can, I'm at SoWhatAboutGame. Or if that fails, how about our email address, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and our Discord. The server link might be below if I remember to copy and paste it there. Please only send me one picture per week. Alright, thank you ever so much for watching. If you watched all the way through, please leave me some bread emoji in honor of bread. Yes! Special thanks, as always, to our executive producers Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, Jcross7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Isa, Vey, Mental Traveler, Offphone, Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Play, Kadacha, Totally Grateful, Alex M, and Feig. Please go check out some of our other stuff. Go check out A Bit More Jordan, my other channel. Go check out Physical Paradise, my other channel. You can get the latest recent physical announcements. It's a little bit different to this series. And of course, be there 8 p.m. Eastern Time to check out Premium Edition Games' latest direct. I will be narrating some stuff on there about the latest announcements that we have. Go check it out. I'll see you guys over there. Have a good day.